My name is Mark Amos Lito. So let's talk about why depression rates are so high among millennials. So here's one thing about the millennials. Millennials people born between the early 1980s and the late 1990s experience much higher rates of depression than members of other generations. Some studies show that 20% of millennials experience some form of depression compared to 16% of Generation Xers and baby boomers. So what causes among millennials depression? Millennials experience depression for many of the same reasons older generations do. High stress from work, low self-esteem, and long-term self-doubt can all play a role in how depressed a young adult feels. What sets millennials apart from other generations is often the way they were raised, without putting too much blame on the parents. Many millennials have a hard time adjusting to adult life because they simply weren't prepared for it. Their parents worked so hard to protect their children that they never had a chance to develop conflict resolution strategies. A mildly stressful situation for a baby boomer may seem like a life-altering milestone for a millennials. Technology has also contributed to the high depression rates among millennials. Smartphones and the internet provide a world of information and social interaction right at a person's fingertips. But that convenience often leads laziness, social isolation, and complacency. All of these factors can cause depression if they are left to spiral out of control. Luckily, there are a solution to combat these feelings and conquer depression as a whole. Here's the 4 reasons why millennials are so depressed. Number 1. We don't see a future. People tend actually to be happier in country where there is room for improvement. People want to know the future is bright, even when the present isn't as good. This actually makes a lot of sense, as many first world countries that are said to have it better than everyone else tend to be countries with all depressed millennials. If you know that this is good as it gets and it will only go downhill from here, then it's easy to think, what's the point of trying? After all, if there is nothing good waiting for you, then you are going to be the same position whether you work hard or not. The baby boomer generation could have buy a house, afford to have 2 or 3 children, go to the university, and all relatively debt-free. These things are going work perfectly. Normal 50 years ago are outreach most young people today. Number 2. The economic crash in 2008 killed a lot of dreams. Most people who are young adults now were children or teens when everything went belly up in 2008. We are at the age where we were told as kids that if we work hard and follow our passion, we will make it. Now, we are told we are lucky to get minimum wage paying job. We are told that dreams are only those who can afford it. We are bitter that we didn't really get enjoy a pre-cash life. Children born in 1990s were in high school when they were suddenly told, take any job you can, even if you hate it and it will make you not homeless. The future was suddenly bleak and resent it. Number 3. We get blamed for everything by the older generations. Most of the reason of millennials are killing industry is down to the money. We can afford a house that so many young people now is something only the rich can afford. We work long hours for every small amount of pay and therefore don't have spare cash to have a gym subscription, go out of a fancy restaurants, and stimulate the economy by going shopping every weekend. And yet, people like journalists about think it's appropriate to blame us for everything. If you grow up in a world where you have to go to the university and land yourself in $1,000 worth of debt, grab the first job you can and hold on to if it crushes your soul and nothing to do with your degree, and find somewhere to live you can actually afford and if it sucks. And then being blamed for a large business crumbling, then who can blame you for becoming depressed? Everything from social media to politics to climate change is blamed on us. Being told we suck while at the time being told the future hopeless isn't any wonder young people are struggling. And lastly, number 4. Fears of the future for Earth. We are constantly bombarded with worries of the environment. World wars, dangerous laws, terrorism, natural disasters, and corruption. The internet is a wonderful thing, but it also means we can get breaking news straight away and be aware of all terrible things happening across the world at once. Everyone is different, but I'm sure most people would agree that waking up to another mass shooting, terrorist attack, earthquake, or some other disaster puts a bit of a downer on your day. Of course, we aren't only generation suffers worse of wars. I'm not saying we have a worse than the older generations, but in always there. I'm not saying there were ever golden age where everyone was happy and life was perfect. I'm saying stop blaming us for everything. Have a little heart and try to understand the struggle that young people face. Thankfully, with the growing awareness of these problems and plenty of online and in-person therapy and help, we can help to solve the problems and give you young adults, many of whom are promising and talented people for some hope. How to know if person has a depression? Number 1. Doesn't seem to care about anything anymore. Has lost interest in work, hobbies, and other pleasurable activities. Has withdrawn from friends, family, and other social activities. Number 2. Expresses a bleak or negative outlook on life. Is uncharacteristically sad, irritable, short-tempered, critically, or moody. Talks about feeling helpless or hopeless. Number 3. Frequently complains of aches and pains, such as headaches, stomachs, problems, and back pain, or complains of feeling tired and drained all time. Number 4. Sleep less than a usual or oversleeps, has become indecisive, forgetful, disorganized, and out of it. Number 5. Eat more or less than usual, and has recently gained or lost weight. So, number 6. Drink more or abuses drugs, including prescription sleeping pills and painkillers. So here's the tip. Depression treatments for millennials. Number 1. Stay off your cell phone. Smartphones are incredibly addictive, much like alcohols or drugs. When you feel depressed, you may want to reach out to addictive substance as a coping mechanism, even if they are hindrance to your personal health. Chatting with people on your phone or scrolling through Facebook may feel like it's helpful because it makes you feel connected with outside world. In all reality, that time on the phone may be masking your inner feelings of depression and preventing you from getting better. As an alternative to using your phone, plan fun trips with friends and family members to boost your happiness and positivity. Keep your phone in your vehicle, purse, or in your pocket on silent so you can interact with the people around you. This will help you realize how loved you really are, and it will ultimately reduce your depression symptoms. Number 2. Exercise more often. Exercises releasing endorphins, which means it makes you feel better on chemical level. If your depression stems from weight gain or low self-esteem, exercising will help you eliminate the root cause of your depression, whilst simultaneously enhancing your figure. A simple walk around the block of a few sets of crunches throughout the day can do wonders for your depression, especially if you get workout body to motivate you. The more support you have, the better off you will be. Number 3. Learn to separate your work life and personal life. Many millennials work from home or they build their social groups at their workplace. There is nothing wrong with either of these scenarios, but it may cause your work and personal life to bleed into one another. You need to be able to separate these two segments of your life so the stress from one doesn't intensify stress from the other. If you work from home, set up an office space that you can close off when you were finished for the day. If you spend a lot of time with people from work, try to build a separate group from friends to hang out with as well. There is a great deal of balance in this division that will improve your mood from day to day. Thanks for watching guys in my video. And once again, my name is Mark Emil Solito and representing about the millennials issue about depression.